The History of Kembil Tomo Trip. My name is Patrick Wale. I come from Southern Highlands Province, Nipa Kutubu Electorate, Nembi Plateau, LLG, Tegipo Ward 2. My small clan is Home Thomas. Today I want to share with you the story of my ancestors, the Kembil, and how they met the American missionaries in the 1960s. This is the story of how suspicion turned into a partnership, and how war gave way to worship. This is the story of the Kembil Tomos trip. Part 1. Before the missionaries. Long, long ago, back in 1960s, the Nembi Plateau was strong, but isolated. My ancestors were known across the land as top warriors. Their names are Kembil Homa, Kembil Hall, Pam Weso, Pam Paul, Komal Hunbi, Komal Apu, Per Tinzian, and their captain the mighty Kembil Kamti. In those days, their world was their mountain, their garden, and their natural resources. They defended their land with spears and shields. They did not know about the outside world. They did not know Tokpisin or English. When strangers came, they assumed that they came to fight or steal. So when the first white men walked into our village and community, my ancestors prepared for war, not welcome. The men who came were American missionaries from the Christian Union Mission. To my ancestors, everything about them was strange. Their skin was white like a cloud. Their clothes covered their whole body. They spoke words nobody understood. They carried a Bible, not spears or guns. During that time, my ancestors thought, these men have come to destroy their community. They came to take their land and steal their natural resources and break their customs. How could they talk? Because there was no common language. My ancestors shouted in Nembi tongue. The missionaries answered in English. The gap between them was wide as the sky above. For weeks there was tension. My ancestors watched every movement. Trust did not come easy when you have fought for whole life to protect what is yours. The turning point, realizing that they were men of God. But slowly, something changed. My ancestors watched how these men lived. They did not mark out the land for themselves. They did not carry guns. When someone was sick, they helped. When people were hungry, they shared. And they were gathered every morning, opened their Bible, and spoke to an unseen God with peace in their eyes. The Kembil warriors, my ancestors began to ask, what kind of men are these? Their elders said it was the action, not the words, that first preached the gospel. The missionaries showed love before they could speak it. Finally, through signs and through a few local men who learned some pidgin, the message became clear. We have not come to take, we came to give. We bring the good news of Jesus Christ. When they heard that, they began to lower their spear, their stone axe, and bow and arrow. They built together the birth of Montenda District and Montenda Local Church. Once my ancestors understood, they did something very powerful. Captain Kembil and other leaders called a meeting. They said, if this God is true, he must have a house. So they gave the missionaries a very big piece of land, free, no payment. On that land my ancestors became builders. Kembil Home, Kembil Hall, Pam Weso, Pam Pal, Komal Hunbi, and other leaders worked side by side with the Americans. They cut the timber, they carried the kunai, they raised the posts together. Together they built a huge church building, and they named it Montenda Christian Union Church. That same land is now the headquarters of Christian Union Mission in Upper Plateau, in Nipa Kutubu, and Southern Highlands Province. From a place of fear, Montenda became a place of faith. Conclusion. So what is the lesson of the Kembil Tomo trip? First, that courage is not just fighting enemies. Sometimes courage is laying down your spears. My ancestors were strong enough to change their mind. Second, that land given in faith grows more than crops. That ground our grandfather gave now send pastors, teachers, and leaders across the highlands and through Papua New Guinea. Today, when I stand in Montenda District, I stand on land where warriors met missionaries, where misunderstandings become brotherhood, where the gospel took roots in the land of Kembil Tomos. I am Patrick Wale, of the Kembil Tomo trip. I am the grandson of those warriors and ancestors who became church builders, and this is the history of Kembil Tomo.